Hi, my name is Becca, and today I am going to do a micro-teaching lesson for a class of 6th graders during a math lesson. We will be placing rational numbers on a number line. This entire lesson would take about 50 minutes to complete. It would involve whole group instruction, small group work, individual work, and whole class discussion. Teacher materials needed for this lesson would include a whiteboard, chalkboard, or smartboard. Student materials for this lesson would include a writing utensil and paper. Graph paper would be better because it would help the students stay organized. We'll get to that point during the micro-teaching lesson. Prior to the micro-teaching lesson I'm about to do, the students would have experienced the lesson hook. We would have had a discussion about the procedures for creating a number line, any prior experiences they have creating a number line, thoughts they have about the lesson, ideas they have, and then I would give them a set of data to plot with their predetermined groups. They would go through that together, work on it as a team, and then we would come into the micro-teaching lesson. I would use constructivist methods for this lesson so that these students can guide themselves to the answers using their prior knowledge and observations that they've made so far. I would guide the students through questions so that they can lead themselves to the answers. I've seen that this really helps students feel like they have a better understanding of the knowledge, figuring out the conclusion themselves, figuring out the process themselves, being led to it rather than just being told, this is what we're doing and this is how you do it, allowing the students that freedom and liberty to create their own ideas, answers, and give their own observations really helps them grasp the knowledge and feel like they're a part of the lesson. So let's move on to the micro-teaching. We are going to create a number line as a class. So let's create the number line. What is the first thing that we need to do? Okay, that's right, guys. We need to draw the number line.
Can I tell it?
Okay, so now we have our number line down. What is the next thing that we need to do? All right, okay, we need to add in our points. So where do we need to start and where do we need to end?
I want to do it with the game.
Hold on. All right, 0 is our lowest number. Good job pointing that out, guys. And what's our highest number? Okay, 6. So let's put those in here. 0 and 6. Now we have all this empty space in between. So let's fill it in with the rest of the points. Don't push them. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And even though there's nobody with 5 pets, we still want to include that because our number line would look kind of funky missing a space. It might look misleading to people who are viewing the number line. So we want to make sure we have all of those points in between there. Right, so now we have our number line labeled 0 through 6. What's the next step? Okay, that's right, guys. Now we need to plot our data.
Thank you.
All right, so to plot our data, we're going to look at this information that we've already collected. Stop. All right, so we have 4 people with 0 pets. So we're going to mark 4 lines. 1, 2, 3,
Can I do
4.
the other one?
We have 8 people with 1 pet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 people with 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 people with 4, or 4 people with 3 pets. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 people with 4 pets. None with 5. And 2 people with 6 pets. Okay, now we have that done. What's our next step? Because it looks like we're done. We have our number line and we plotted our data. So what's our next step? If you don't know, then we need to look at our example from earlier today. Right? We have the number line with the plotted data. We also have a number line with our data plotted on the one we're working on. So what's the difference? The one from earlier has a title. The one we're currently working on does not. So, what would a good title be for this graph about our pets? Okay, you guys, pets is a good suggestion, but how could we make it more specific? Students' pets. Okay, good choice, guys. Okay, students' pets. So now we have our number line, our data plotted, and our title. Are we done now?
No.
Yes, we are. All right, so let's review. First, we drew our number line. We made sure to start with our lowest point, go to our highest point, and we added everything in between to help keep us organized. Then, we added a title so that everybody can understand what this number line is representing. Students' pets. From this number line, we can gather the data of how many students are in the class by counting the tallies we have. So there's 25 students in the class. We can see that 8 students have 1 pet, but nobody has 5. Now, are there any downsides, do you think, to plotting our number this way, plotting our information this way? One thing could be that it's kind of hard to tell always how many are here. This is why your graph paper would help you. You can put an X in each box, because where we have 2 students with 4 pets and 2 students with 6 pets, my numbers are a little uneven. So if you're looking at this really quickly, you might think there's more students with 6 pets than there are 4. So that's why the graph paper is going to help keep you guys organized. You'll just put a little X in each box, and that will help you keep track, keep it organized, nice and neat. And that is our lesson. So after this activity, students would complete an activity as a class, which is where the stopwatch would come in, to create a set of data together. On their own, they would fill out their number line. After class, they would submit it. After their work time for the activity, we would go through an informal whole class assessment, going with a question and answer format that the students would be familiar with from use throughout the year. And that is all for my lesson. So thank you guys so much for watching. I apologize for the toddler, and have a great day.
Have a great day.